Hey everybody, I haven't done one of these in a while, but today we're going to do some more prep for Tomb of Annihilation in my over a year now campaign, in-person campaign for Tomb of Annihilation, which is a lot of fun. It's I've been having a lot of fun. I have a good group of players, one of whom is Nick Bowman, who I interviewed. He's another DM and player, and a good guy. And all my players are great right now, including my wife. She plays, and it's been great. It's a lot of fun, and they're in the jungle. So it's been a while since we updated, but they were in the jungle. They did the Siege of Camp Righteous, which was fun, a real blast. They're still talking about that because they almost died in the zombie T-Rex, which is great. And then they're also so then they went and got Vorn. They dealt with the Bateri goblins. They activated Vorn, and now they've had a bunch of little mini quests, including I ran them through my Cursed Obelisk adventure module, which I released on DM's Guild. It's a little side quest sort of thing, not really a one-shot. It took a whole session, but it's not really a one-shot. It's like a side quest encounter, but it's available on DM's Guild right now. I recommend you go check it out if you want to bridge the gap between to Heart of Uptau and the Red Wizards of Thay. It's a good sort of introduction to them, to that location and to the Red Wizards, I think. So, and I wrote it. So there you go. But today, so they were on their way to Mbala. They have heard things about an ancient woman, like a woman up there who's like some kind of spiritual woman that is said to be able to bring back the dead. Of course, she can't right now because the Monger is active in my world and resurrection no longer works. So she can't do that. She's a green hag. She doesn't have the ability to do that anyway. But they went up to Mbala, and that was a blast because they basically, so halfway up, Petrofolk attacked. Vorn couldn't go up because the pass is too narrow for him, the little cliffside, and him being like about a 1-ton creature, it was not exactly, I made sure to let him know it wasn't exactly safe for him to try to go up. Their two guides, River Mist and Flask of Wine, stayed behind to kind of guard they have a Triceratops that they call U-Haul to take all their gear, since that was being done out by boat, but now they're over land, so now they have a Triceratops that they've named U-Haul, taking that. And so River and Flask are going to guard that with Vorn, and they're going to go up. And so they got attacked by Petrofolk, who were trying to carry them away for their babies. They made it very clear that they were after food for their babies. And took one of them, took my wife's character, Lola, which is a fighter. She's a fighter, battle master. And they took her, and they had her in the air, and then they did something really smart. They were able to shoot the creature, and they were able to vortex warp Lola away, which was great. So she was just in range of the vortex warp, and they were able to snatch her. The wizard of the group, Cacao, was able to snatch her and vortex warp her to a safe location. And I thought it was really fabulous how they did that. They rescued her. I was sad because I did want to have them get captured by the Petrofolk, because I thought that would have been a cool little encounter that they would have had to do. I had that map ready and everything, but that didn't happen. And so I had to roll with the punches And so they arrived at the top of Mbala and confronted by the view of all the skeletons and stuff. And they were impressed. You know, it was terrifying, right? So then they sort of, you know, of course, they're very wary of this. I mean, it's a horrifying scene. The entrance is littered with bones and skeletons and stuff. Let's see if I can show a view of that, because I did a 3D picture of that and to show my players. And so, yeah, nope, not that, and that. Yep. And so I gave them that picture there, sort of this view of Mbala. You can't really see the gate, but there's the gate and the bones, and that was great. So they got into Mbala and they were very hesitant, approaching very slowly. I said that there was a hut, an intact hut at the end, like at the far end of the entrance. And then they got confronted by 5 ghosts appeared to them while they were trying to they decided they were going to take a short rest before they approached the hut. And while they were taking a short rest, 5 ghosts appeared. And then we stopped right there. So the ghost just appeared out of nowhere, and then we stopped. And frankly, because I wasn't prepared, I didn't think they would get to Mbala by the end of the session. I can never get the timing right. I'm either prepared and they barely get, like, I'm prepared I prep all this and they get halfway through the encounter or halfway through the preparation, and I have to roll the preparation over to the next week. The next half week we do bi-weekly. Or in this case, they went through all my prep and got ahead of me, and then I had to like sort of improv some stuff. So I didn't want them to have the encounter with Nanny Pu'pu right away. I wanted there to be sort of a mystery of who they're going to believe. So, and I've been debating about it, and frankly, I didn't know if the ghost would be hostile or not at the end of the session. I really didn't. I thought like, okay. I'm not sure whether I should make him hostile or not. But I have decided now that they are going to not be hostile, right? And they are going to be residents of Mbala, former residents of Mbala that Nanny Pu'pu killed. And they're not exactly good either. I mean, they're not hostile, but they're not like, they don't really care. They're very neutral about this. They want sort of vengeance on Nanny Pu'pu, right? So they can go rest, right? But the problem is, like, of course, if the players do this for the ghost and have them rest, then what's going to happen is they're going to get caught up. Their souls are going to get caught up in the soulmonger, and it's going to be a fate worse than death. They wish they were still ghost. So that's going to be interesting, because I'm going to describe that in vivid detail, the effects of the soulmonger. So that gives me a really great chance to sort of describe what happens to your soul when you get caught up by the soulmonger and it's not allowed to pass and it's going to be eaten. And so that'll be a great role play moment. And I think that is another thing that I'm going to do to get sort of drive home the importance of the soulmonger and the death curse. And so I'm actually kind of excited about that. And I hadn't planned on that until I was thinking about this. But one of the things that the ghost can do is possession. And this is pretty badass. And I think if the players don't agree to sort of try to help the ghosts are going to attempt possession. And there's 5 ghosts, and I think all 5 ghosts will attempt to possess someone. And it's a DC 13 charisma. And if 5 ghosts do it, the odds of at least one of them succeeding is pretty good. So I'm going to roll that right now. And let's assume, let's give them a real, let's assume that they have +2, right? So, and that's a very optimistic assumption with charisma that they have +2. But let's say they average to +2. So they need 11 or better to pass. And so I'll just roll this right now. Yeah, and so let's see. Oh shit. Okay, well let me do this again. I gotta roll this one at a time, I think. Okay. The way to it. It's the way this obsidian does it. That's kind of annoying, so. And I gotta do, because it doesn't give you the breakdown of it, which is really annoying. Nope. Okay, that's not what I want. All right. Nope. That didn't work. Weird. All right. So we're going to roll this, roll it again. Okay, let's see. Yep. Let's roll it again. Let's roll this again. So, okay, that's 1 fail. 2 failed. Okay, so 3 passed and 2 failed. So that's 2 of the party members possessed. There's 5 party members, and and almost half of them are possessed. So it's good odds, and this is going to be interesting now. So they're possessed, and the ghosts are going to make it clear that they don't want to fight. But the way possession works, the ghost now controls the body, but doesn't deprive the target of awareness. The ghost can't be targeted by attack, spell, or other effect except ones that turn undead, and retains its alignment, intelligence, wisdom, charisma, and immunity to being charmed or frightened. It otherwise uses the possessed target's statistics, but doesn't gain access to the target's knowledge, class features, or proficiencies. The possession lasts until the body drops to 0 hit points. The ghost ends it. The ghost chooses to end it as a bonus action, or the ghost is turned or forced out by a factor like dispel evil and good. And they don't have any of those abilities. So they don't have a way to turn undead. They don't have dispel evil and good. And they would have to drop their companions to 0 hit points. And I think that would be an interesting thing. And especially if the ghost is like clear, right? That it doesn't want to attack the players. They want to go and immediately attack Nanny Pu'pu. So that could be interesting. Okay. So that's one way that could happen. The ghost, they say they're not going to help the ghost. The ghost get mad and attempt a possession, like first attack. All right. So they attack, they do a surprise attack, and they attempt a possession. Okay. So then whoever's possessed, makes it clear that they're going to go and, because they can speak, the ghost now controls the body. So I assume that to mean that they can speak, as the ghost, as a ghost person with the whoever they're possessing's voice, and they're gonna say like, we're gonna go attack Nanny Pu'pu, right? Or here's the other thing: the party can agree to help the ghost, and the ghost's like, great, okay, we will wait. We can't help you though. We can't, because I know what the party's going to say. The party's going to say, well, okay, you can help us then defeat Nanny Pu'pu. And so I will say to that no, they can't, because the ghost don't have the ability to target Nanny Pu'pu. So, and that's why they haven't attacked her before, because otherwise it doesn't make sense. Like, they would attack her before, right? So they can go now to Nanny Pu'pu, and Nanny Pu'pu is going to tell them, so Nanny Pu'pu is going to be this old lady. My players are savvy enough that they don't trust old ladies. They don't trust old ladies anymore, and it's sad. It's sad that they don't trust old women, old harmless women anymore. That my party is so jaded, but they don't trust old ladies. So I don't think she's going to be able to convince them that she's just some harmless old lady. I'm under no delusions there that they're going to be able to do that. She's going to be able to do that. But I do think, so if they do talk to her, I do want them to sort of doubt the ghost story, because the ghost don't necessarily, in lore is going to tell you that ghosts aren't necessarily neutral like that, right? So they can be any alignment though, but most ghosts are you counter your attack. So I gotta re-roll this actually. There you go. And then so yeah, she's gonna tell him, look, I'm a harmless old lady. Like, oh, I haven't had visitors for so long, and I'm really going to have to improv the harmless old lady voice. So I'm really going to be doing some acting. I'm going to try my best to really do some acting and really sell this old lady as harmless, because my players just do not trust old ladies from past experiences. And I think, and it's impossible, and there hasn't been that experience in this campaign with these characters, but I think it's impossible for them not to metagame that a little bit, and they're just not going to trust this old lady. So, but she's going to be really nice. She's going to offer them tea and some rat stew, which she's making, which doesn't sound appetizing at all, but that's what she has. And she explains, they'll see some flying monkeys on the, kind of hanging around, and she'll be like, these are my helpers. They get me food. Most of what they get is rats and stuff like that. And I cook it up, but I just sit up here. I'm trying to, I tried to help the people of Mbala when I can. And it's a really sad story, and disease swept through, and I couldn't help them. And now I stay up here because I literally have no other place to go. Like, I don't have any other place to go. So, and I consider this my home, and I don't want to leave. And like, how did I survive this disease? I don't know, but here I am. And I have flying monkeys to help me. And I collect herbs. Like, here, have some tea. So, and she lives in a little wooden hut. Right? And so, but she is definitely a green hag, right? And she wants to make a deal. And if they ask her about her ability to resurrect, she's like, well, that's been overblown. I do have powers to heal. And I do have some control over life and death, right? Because obviously she's really old. She's been up there for a time, and then Lola, the fighter, so I made everybody roll for like a unique like object that they had at the start of their character creation. That was part of their backstory, and there's a whole table about that in the DMG. And I'll try to put a link to that, or I'll put a reference to that where you can find it in the DMG with the page number in the description below. I can't remember it right now off the top of my head, but there's a whole table about these like mementos for character creation, right? And you just roll. It's a D100 table, and which is another plug where I got the idea for my unique, very minor magical items table, D100 table for very minor magical items that you can spread through dungeons and in chest as treasure and stuff like that for your adventuring party. And I released that today, or yesterday, and it's also on the DM's Guild. So if you go to DM's Guild and look up Evil Penguin RPG, you should be able to find it. And if not, I'll put a link for both those things, the one shot side quest and the D100 unique, very minor magical items. So, and that's all free. So go ahead and grab it. Just grab it. And if you like it, just leave a review. That's all I ask. So anyway, so one of the things that Lola rolled was, and I didn't even realize this in there until she rolled it. It's very disgusting. She rolled that her memento is a jar of old toenail clippings, which is very gross. Like, why would somebody hold on to that? But there's a jar of old toenail clippings. And so the story we came up for her was that she was a member of the Flaming Fist, was sent out with a squad. It was basically she was sent out to cover up some to find this raid, but they sent her out on like basically a death. They sent her out as a suicide mission, unbeknownst to her, because they wanted to cover up corruption. And in fact, the commander at if you remember from any of my other past sessions, probably not, but I talk about this in some of my other development things. Her commander was actually Laura Porter, who is the commander of Fort Bellarian. So that was a former commander, and so they had a little confrontation anyway. But one of her personal quests is to try to figure out some way to like atone for what she feels she's guilty of, bringing about the death of her squad mates, right? So she might ask Nanny Pu'pu about these toenails if they can be used to sort of bring back her squad mates, which is absolutely not. But that doesn't mean Nanny Pu'pu won't lie to her, and that doesn't mean that Nanny Pu'pu won't say that she can do something, right? And she'll say that they're like a thread, right, to the dead, and that she can't bring them back. Like, resurrection is beyond her means, and she'll be honest about that. But that she can, because this is in the book, she has the ability to bring sort of these undead back. I mean, sort of bring people back, right? Like a little sort of thing. Let's look at it here. So yeah, let's look at it here. And so Nanny Pu'pu right here, Mbala. There's good old Nanny Pu'pu. And so she has the right of stolen life. Nanny Pu'pu. So Merkel, the Lord of Bones, and she can transform a dead humanoid into a zombie-like creature. And so she does have something going on. It's not something that somebody would necessarily want, but she has some stuff going on that she can do. And so she'll say that she can, if you bring her something else, something stronger, that she can maybe put the soul of one of her compatriots into somebody else, but that it requires like a sacrifice. And or she can perhaps, if they're willing to do a favor for her, both things will require a favor, but if they're willing to do a favor for her, she will, and if they don't want that, and they don't want to sacrifice somebody, she can do a talk to the dead with this former alive material of her dead squad mates, and so that she can commune with the dead. But they have to do a favor for her first. And what favor does she want? She wants two things, actually. The Petra folk are annoying to her, and she would love to see the Petra folk killed, right? So if they just want to do the speak with dead thing, then Nanny Pu'pu will probably settle with the slaughter of the entire Petra folk, including their babies, which I will definitely make extra sad that they're killing these Petra folk little younglings in the nest that are just trying to get their food. I want to really lay on the guilt trip about that if they decide to do that. But if they decide like, okay, well, maybe an amalgamation of my squad mates is good, and this is really up to Lola, up to my wife's character, then she is going to want something bigger. And what she is going to want is she's going to want them to kill or like really sort of mess with the Sohn sisters' ability to do their things. My cat is eating my paperwork. Stop. All right. So, she's going to want them to do that. The Sohn sisters have been hinted at to my players before. They actually have been visited by the Sohn sisters in dreams. And this is the first time she's going to say the Sohn sisters. And this is the first time that they're going to know a name for them. And they had a dream where there was the theme of stitching and things being sewn in each dream they had, even though the dreams were personalized to them. That was one common thread. See what I did there? Thread that they all had was the fact that these things were sewn together and stitched together unnaturally. And so then she's going to say the Sohn sisters, and this is going to immediately catch their attention. So now they have a debate, right? Like, are they going to attack Nanny Pu'pu? Are they going to help her? And then probably have to attack the ghost, because the ghosts are not going to be happy. So they're going to have to fight somebody, right? That's the situation that they're in. Now, if they attack Nanny Pu'pu, which is probably what they're going to do, honestly, although I can't predict, who knows? But if they attack Nanny Pu'pu, her first initiative round, she is going to call forth her flesh golem and then go invisible. And that flesh golem is tough. I mean, that flesh golem is a beast. So I actually put it in Kobold Fight Club, and it said that this was... Oh, no. What have that? What's that? Why is that there? All right, let's clear the. Oh, okay. Flesh column, add, and then let's see. Let me put. Hold on. Let me switch you over to that, so you can see Cold Flight Club calculations and Green Hag. All right, and then we add that to the encounter, and deadly right there, deadly. This is deadly. Right? And even if I take the Green Hag out, it's still a medium fight. So it's hard. And I honestly, she's probably going to go out. So she's going to call in her, she is, and then there's the flesh golem. And so she's going to call in her flesh golem and then go invisible and disappear. And she doesn't really, because she hits with claws, which is a lot for 13 points of damage. That's a lot. But she knows that she's outmatched by herself, right? She's not stupid. So she knows she's outmatched by herself. So she will probably retreat and let her flesh golem work for her. And they're going to have to fight this beast, which is immune to lightning, poison, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks that aren't adamantite. Man, and they don't. My players do have a couple of magical weapons, but not a lot. And that's going to be tough. In addition, immune to charmed, exhaustion, frightened, paralyzed, petrified, and poisoned. Yeah. A normal speed goes berserk if it gets bloodied. If it goes bloody, it goes berserk. On a 6, the golem goes berserk and attacks the nearest creature it can see. So yeah, that's the party. Yeah. And then it does it regain hit points? Let's see. Yeah, no creature near enough. They got. It says something about until it regains its hit points. Oh, maybe that's if somebody heals it. Yeah. Maybe if somebody heals it, but it doesn't have any ability itself to heal. And I don't know if she does. She might. Nanny Pu'pu might. She has potions. So she would have, because I think in her hut she's making potions. So she would have a healing potion. So she could feed him a healing potion and then do invisible passages again. So, and it doesn't say, there's not a limit to this invisible passages. I mean, she can do this anytime she wants. So Hag magically turns invisible until she attacks or casts a spell, or until her concentration ends, as if a concentration spell. While invisible, she leaves no physical evidence of her passage, so she can be tracked only by magic. Any equipment she wears or carries is invisible with her. So yeah, and she can do this as a bonus action. So, because it does say in here, let's see, where does it say in here? It says that Nanny Pu'pu can do this. I think it says that she can do that as a bonus action, although the stat block says action. Let's see. Okay, maybe that's an action. Okay, yeah. All right, that's an action. But that's fine because because potions are a bonus action. so she can dump a potion down her golem's throat and then turn invisible again. Crazy. That would actually be kind of wild because I don't know, man. I mean, it's been a while since I've had a session where a monster has drinking a potion. So that's kind of wild. All right, look, cat, you gotta stop. Go. Oh, look at this thing. Thing is destroying my stuff. All right, go. Get up there. All right. So, yeah, that would be interesting because that doesn't normally happen. And then she's gonna go invisible, and then they can't find her, and then she would probably just retreat somewhere and hide somewhere, and wait till the golem really fucks up the players, like screws up the players. If the golem really messes them up, she'll come in and finish them off. I don't want to kill my players, but I mean, if I had them both attack at the same time, I think it definitely would potentially kill them. So yeah, I mean, the flesh golem is, yeah, he's a badass. So he is a badass, and I rolled him high. I've rolled 92. So, and then, okay, so that's that, right? Which I think is pretty good. I think that's good. It gives them a moral dilemma a little bit. Who do they believe? You know, both people aren't necessarily good, but the ghost offer nothing. The ghost offer nothing in return for them to do this. Their quest for them is to kill Nanny Pu'pu, and they offer nothing as a reward. Nanny Pu'pu's quest is to not kill the ghost because she's not worried about the ghost, but to either kill a bunch of slaughter a bunch of Petrofolk, or go and kill the Sown sisters, which is a way bigger thing. But she offers some kind of thing, speak with the dead or something like that, something that they want. So she offers something. So it gives them sort of a moral dilemma about what are they going to choose? Who are they going to choose when both aren't necessarily good? Like, you're pretty sure no matter who you help, I'm pretty sure no matter who you help, you aren't on the side of good here. So, but if they do kill Nanny Pu'pu, then the ghosts are happy, and then their souls are sucked away into the soulmonger, and it will be a painful process that they will describe in vivid detail, and the players will get glimpses of their souls being sucked into the soulmonger, and I will make it really bad. And then, because after this encounter I plan to level them to level 5, I will set off the next part of my soulmonger thing, where healing potions and healing spells will work as intended, but be -1 from here on out. So, as the effects of healing, even healing, is affected by the death curse. So, yep. So it'll be -1 after this, and this is and ghost being sucked in will be the catalyst that makes that happen. Either way, it's probably gonna happen. So, but that story-wise, if the ghost gets sucked in, that's a good way to happen. So anyway, if they kill Nanny Pu'pu, they have access to her treasure, which is in the cistern. And in the bottom of the cistern, and this is an idea that I stole from Rogue Watson in his Tomb of Annihilation, and I thought this was really great, was that in the bottom there, instead of just water, it was a black pudding that they didn't know about. And the black pudding is pretty much a badass. Another very tough creature Let's see what, and they're already gonna be messed up, and they're probably not going to take a long rest from this, right? So let's see. Let's clear this encounter and do black pudding, and we'll add. Okay, it says it's an easy encounter, but I disagree. I disagree that is an easy encounter. Yeah. I mean, I disagree. I don't think black puddings are an easy encounter. For characters that are already messed up. It's immune to acid, cold, lightning, and slashing. So a lot of conditions. And it corrodes your weapon. A creature that touches the pudding or hits with a melee attack while within 5 feet of it takes 1d8 acid damage. Any non-magical weapons made of metal or wood that hits the pudding corrode. After dealing damage, the weapon takes a permanent and cumulative -1 penalty to damage rolls. If its penalty drops to -5, the weapon is destroyed. See, I don't think that's an easy encounter. I think that makes it a very hard encounter. And then if you do that, when a pudding that is medium or larger is subjected to lightning or slashing damage, it splits into 2 new puddings. Each has at least 10 hit points. Each new pudding has hit points equal to half the original puddings, rounded down. So yeah, it's already got, let's see what it's got. It's got, what do you got? What did I roll? 88. So 2 puddings at 44. And you can't, and if you slash at it with a metal weapon, it's going to corrode it. Does it say non-magical? Let's see. Non-magical. So it specifically says non-magical. So yeah, this is again the problem. They don't have a lot of magical weapons. So I'm going to have to give them a magical weapon to end this encounter, but I think I'm going to give them, I don't know, I'm going to have to look and see what I already gave them as magical weapons. I gave them a bow, and I also, there's a scimitar that I gave them, and I know just recently I gave them a +1 dagger. So I think that's the only 3 I've given them. So I'm gonna have to see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go look in my notes and see what weapons they have. I need to keep better notes, even though I organize in here. My notes are still sort of a mess. But yeah, I think this could be a really bad encounter. But anyway, that's in the bottom of the cistern, and that is guarding Nanny Pu'pu's treasure, which says here. I mean, I'll probably have to modify this. It says it's 6 onyx gemstones, 50 gold pieces each, a spell scroll of comprehend languages, which is something that they badly need, because in the in my Cursed Obelisk, they found a journal page that was written in Than. So by Volantra, Shadowmantle, the Red Wizard, and so it was written in Than that basically says it's the heart. She knows where Umu is now, and sort of, and so they don't understand Than. So comprehend language, perfect. That's in the book. I didn't even think about that. I honestly did not plan that, but I was planning to give them a comprehend languages scroll anyway, so they can interpret that. But then yeah, so that's in the book. 10 adamantite ingots, stamped with dwarven runes. Yeah, and I'm gonna have to give them something else. If they go through all this, it's going to have to be something else. So yeah, it's gonna have to be something else. They're gonna have some other treasure there. I think in the Petra folk nest, there's 6 gold pieces and a silver dagger and a potion of greater healing, which I did give them in the Cursed Obelisk. They got a potion of greater healing, and then they got a dagger +1. So I'd give them something else. There would be another magical weapon. And I think, and the reward of going to 5th level. So I think that will definitely be a full session. There's no doubt there. I think that might be 1.5 sessions, honestly. But I think these are rather hard fights, depending on what they do. I think the ghost, they might be able to fight, because let's see. What is the ghost? Do I have the ghost pulled up? No, hold on, let me see. Ghost, D&D 5e. Oops. Okay, and let's see. Yep, ghost. Yep. All right. They're 45 hit points. They +1 initiative. They have resistances. So everything here is either resistant or immune to damage, which is kind of crazy. They have some good attacks. Withering Touch. Ooh, that does a lot of damage. 17 points of damage. That'd be tough. What does this say about 5 ghosts? Let's clear the encounter. So, ghosts. 5 of them. No, that can't be right. All right. Hold on. Ghost add. Oh, okay. Deadly. Yeah, deadly. Feels like a masterclass in how not to survive. Whoops. Alright, well, that could be bad. Just 3 ghosts is bad. Oh my gosh, okay. Alright. Just 3 ghosts is bad. Let's see. 2 ghosts is deadly. I don't know if I believe that. 2 ghosts is deadly, I guess. Yeah, 5 ghosts, that's a lot. That might be. I don't know. I might have to weaken them. Oh man. I did not because I was in the session. I was like literally in the session, and by the time I got up there, I was ad-libbing. I was like all improv, and I just wanted to stop them before they got to Nanny Pu'pu so I could figure her out some more, because I hadn't quite figured her out yet and what her motivations were and stuff, or if I was going to stick with the book or change it. And so I had 5 ghosts pop up, but I did not do a Coldwood Fight Club encounter on the ghost to see if that was too much. Oh my. Oh my. Okay, well, we'll see. Let's see, what do they have? Withering Touch. Average of 17 points of damage, and it's a +5 to attack. Yike. That's rough. Horrifying Visage, which they can use DC 13 Wisdom save or have the frightened condition. Yeah, and they already experienced that with the Petrifolk, the frightened condition. The Possession, of course, is really the one that is really serious that they can do, which could really mess you up. So, yeah. Wow. Yeah. Okay. I mean, that could. Yeah. Shit. I mean, there is CR4. Oh my gosh. I did not. Fuck. Okay. Well. I mean, this says that 5 ghosts feels like something from the Cruel and Unusual rulebook. Yeesh. Okay. That's a TPK right there. Oops. Okay. Well, if they fight the ghost, I might. If they decide they're gonna fight the ghost, I might be in trouble. Oh my gosh. Maybe if they decide if they decide to go the Nanny Pu'pu route and do what she's asking, then they'll have to fight one ghost. Yeah, maybe they'll just fight. I mean, maybe it'll just be one ghost that'll come back. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. That's tough. Wow. Yeah. All right. I'm glad I looked that up now because like, this is CR5. Ghosts are CR4. Oh my gosh. Didn't realize they were CR4. Oh. Do I have some? Is there something like a ghost that's not a ghost? Yeah. Let's see. Let's go. Is there something that's like a ghost that's not a ghost? Here. What I can do. Oh man. Because that's tough. That's really tough, and that's. Ugh. I don't know what I'm gonna do if I TPK them. I don't want to TPK my players. No. And it makes, oh, wow. Okay. And it makes 2 attacks. It's multi-attack. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So ghost or multi-attack. Withering touch is multi-attack. Jeez. 2024 is even a little bit deadlier, I think. Yeah. 2024 is an average of 19. It's 3d10 plus 3 necrotic damage instead of 46 plus 3. So it's 3d10 plus 3. So that works out to an average of 19. And a melee attack bonus of plus 5. Okay, that's the same. But they multi-attack now. Which the 2014 Ghost, it doesn't say they multi-attack. Damn. All right. Wow. Okay. So, man, that could be, all right, I'm gonna have to figure out. Maybe one ghost comes back. Maybe something, but anyway. I don't know. I don't think they're going to take that. I really don't. Like, I don't think they're going to here's that. The ghost. Look at this. 2 withering touch attacks. 2 withering touch attacks for 3d10 plus 3. Average hit 19. Wow. That could really mess them up. So, but I don't think they're going to side with Nanny Pu'pu. My only, if it wasn't for Lola and her side quest, her personal quest, I would say absolutely not. They're not going to side with Nanny Pu'pu, but like, I think Lola might try to convince them to side with Nanny Pu'pu for her side quest. For her little personal thing. Huh. Okay. Well, I sort of have to figure that out then. So I'll figure that out. I'll report back on how I do that. Whether I use 1 ghost or maybe 2. Even 2, though, it says it's a deadly encounter. But I know 5 is super death. But yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'll figure this out. Anyway, so that's going to be my sessions Sunday. And we'll see if the characters are still alive or not. I hope so. I don't want to kill them in Mbala. I don't necessarily have a problem with one of the characters going down. I don't want to kill them all. I don't want to TPK. But if one of the characters goes down, it could be interesting. Because then they kind of have to do Nanny Pu'pu's deal. And if she's still alive, they kind of have to do her deal. So that could be interesting. And then I get to enact my thing with the Stone Sisters Well, the Stone Sisters actually have a way to, in my world, the Stone Sisters actually have a real way to bring somebody back. So they're also sort of like a zombie, and ultimately the Stone Sisters have ultimate control over them. Like they're like, basically they can come back, they have all their abilities and stuff, and they're them, but there's something off. And the fact that they just cannot attack the Stone Sisters no matter what they do. So there's no way. They would have to like do something like a wish or something like that to get out of the ability to attack the Stone Sisters, or do harm to the Stone Sisters from there if they were resurrected by them. So, because I did have a character that since left the campaign that had a backstory where their sister that they didn't know about was actually going to be brought back as the Stone Sisters doll, that little doll. That I can't remember the name of right now, but that little doll was going to be his sister's spirit trapped in the doll. And man, I really don't see the name right now. Okay. And that was going to be fun, so it would be something like that. Yeah. Where is it? Where is it? Stone Sisters and the thing. I want to see. I want to know the name of the doll now. I mean, there's a way to replace characters in the Tomb of Annihilation, and it would sort of be like that. It would be a clone, basically. They're calling it a clone, and I think, yeah, it would be a clone. So, but absolutely would not have no way to attack the Stone Sisters, because I think they'd be smart enough to like go, yep, well, that's not gonna happen. But anyway, so that's gonna be interesting. We'll see. This is gonna be the toughest challenge my players have faced yet. They don't even know it. So we'll see. This is gonna be very tough for them. Hopefully they make it out alive, and we have because they're almost halfway through now. And I think, especially now, I mean, I was thinking about bringing them up to level 5 after this encounter, but yes, definitely now. Definitely now they will go up to level 5 after this. So, all right, everybody have fun. May all your rolls be 20. Go check those things out. I'll put the links in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe, all that goodness. I've got some more videos coming out, and go to my TikTok, Insta, social pages. Join our Facebook. I'm working on a Discord channel that will be going live soon. I'm putting stuff up on DM's Guild that is free, or pay what you want, but free. You can do whatever. And there you go. All right. Have fun, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. Appreciate you. Till next time.